Moving right along. Michelle, good to see you. It's Michelle Denogean, CMO at Roadster. She is hidden away in some space bunker somewhere today. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for being a supporter of the show and everything you're doing for the industry. Welcome.
Created these virtual backgrounds for the company since everybody's working remotely, so I thought I would try it on.
I think that's what the Roadster headquarters looks like in my mind. Right? And if I go on your website, everyone's driving like BMWs and stuff, so they're all parked over there to the left, with somebody just dusting them off.
There you go.
That's a fantastic visual, and it'll always be that way in my mind until I actually visit at some point. So excited to have you on the show today. You're going to show us some new things that no one has really seen yet, and they have to do with what you've developed based on insights and experience, digital retailing. So I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm going to flip it to you so that you can let us know what's going on and what's up.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think most people at this point know about Roadster, but I think the one thing before I talk about the new product that I want to point out is that we've always considered ourselves more than just, digital retailing. It's a bit of a buzzword, but it's not a hopes that we put ourselves sort of to the side of that category, but it's more of a mindset. We really think about ourselves as the customer journey company. And it's more of a platform. So we're not just looking at how do we empower consumers to buy cars and build, deals online, but also how do we supply tools to every department in the sales organization. That this is much more of a guided experience as we think about digitizing the sales process. And the reason I bring that up before we talk about, giving you guys a sneak peek, which nobody has seen yet, other than a few beta partners.
Love it.
Is because we've been sort of ticking down the different departments and variable ops, trying to figure out how do we make people more efficient and how do we give the consumers the right experience while also saving time for both the consumer and the dealership. So, last year we spent a huge amount of time focused on the showroom and figuring out how dealers can present deals digitally in the showroom, check in customers at NADA, which feels like it was 3 years ago.
Different life.
Yeah. Right? We unveiled Deal View, which is for sales managers. And so now I think given everything that is happening in the world, our focus, rightfully so, is really turned to like the internet BDC and how do you engage the consumer digitally, right? And give them a very connected experience when they are starting to work with you in the store. So the product that we've been working on is called Express Response. And what it's intended to do is really solve the problem that we see in the space, which is, dealerships across the country are getting internet leads from all sorts of sources, whether it's a third-party site or a manufacturer or what have you. And the very first thing that they do is typically put an autoresponder on. And, in pre-COVID days, it was, let's make an appointment, come into the store. So it's not really all that actionable, is what I'm saying. And with the ability for you to guide a customer through an online car buying experience today, our focus immediately went to how do we automate that so that the customer knows exactly what opportunities they have from a deal structuring standpoint, right when they submit the lead. So I'll share my screen and
let's
walk
do
you
it.
through a couple things. Cool?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes, and
right.
I want to see some stuff.
Stuff you shall see. So, like I said, the problem we're really solving for is that most of these autoresponders that dealerships have in place don't actually answer what the customer's question actually is, nor do they offer actionable insights or steps that you can take to further yourself. And we looked at, it's been interesting actually, and I'd love anybody in the audience that has data on this, but we've been asking dealers about their current performance of their autoresponders and things that they're sending. And my sense is it's very hard that they don't really know. So we just pulled some averages of open rates and click-through rates. So typically, average automotive emails get like a 2.6% click-through rate if they open it. So the other thing to keep in mind that we have is that like Brian said just a minute ago, actually, when he was on, your business is 24 hours a day, right? And we know this because we've been mining our data, and it shows that the engagement that's happening, a lot of it's happening after hours. 28% of the time are deals being structured after hours. It climbs to 37% when you're closed on Sundays. So there's just this huge opportunity, whether you're available immediately when that lead comes in, or it's after hours for you to give them a more actionable response. So that's what it is. It's actually pretty simplistic in nature, but it really is, how do we take all of these leads that you're getting from all these other places outside of your buying experience and respond immediately to them, might match the price, match the VIN, and then actually send them that vehicle and that price and give them the ability to start building the deal. So really, like I said, it's simple in explanation, much harder in execution.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it is.
So that's it. And the other thing I would point out is, like I said, we're immediately matching after the lead gets submitted, the VIN and the price. And then within minutes, we're giving them a price quote and sending them into your online buying experience. And we're also, of course, we know the CRM is important, so we're posting to that. But this is really the meat of it, which is we have just started. We haven't really even optimized our emails fully. There's so much more we can do in drip campaigns and other follow-ups, but we already see the open rate is over 65%. The click-through rate on these emails compared to the industry standard of 2.6 is 22%. So we know we're on to something, and we're going to be launching this to dealers in the next month here or so, and we're pretty excited about it, because here's what we know. We know from our current dealer partners, Paul, that a lot of them are doing this manually. If you have a digital retailing platform, you're basically taking your internet lead and then you're sending them, a link to your online buying experience manually with everyone that comes in. So now it can be automated.
And I hear that all the time, being in and out of stores, people saying, I can't handle the leads that I have. Right? And sometimes that just means moving them the next step. And it's really frustrating as a consumer if all of a sudden, like, the process slows way down. You know how it is. I know how it is. Like, that's never going to get looked at again.
Yeah. So it allows them to actually respond to all of them, because I've also heard that too. The volume is really high.
Yes.
But then it leaves room for you to give that guided experience, because we understand that it's not, your employees are really important in this process. This is not about the customer just doing everything 100% on their own. Yep. It's about, how do you add value on top of that? How do you guide them through the experience and answer their questions and make sure that they're getting, the best possible service. So.
Well, I think the open rates and the click-through rates really speak to that. It always has to do with, like, yes, relevancy is obviously incredibly important, but even before relevancy, you said, well, it looks kind of simple, and it's easy to just say, but the bottom line is you figured something out that actually gets people to pay attention to it for just a second so they can realize it's relevant. And so I think that's, like, easy to say and easy to overlook, but I know as a marketer, like, that's the magic combination. You have to get somebody open. You have to grab their attention long enough, and then you have to show them something relevant. And if it's just relevant but it doesn't grab their attention, they're still not opening it. So So I know it's easy to, like, discount. I know it looks simple, right? It's very, very hard and complicated to make that happen. So the fact that you've been able to automate that in a way that serves the dealer, that ultimately serves the consumer and their desires and their expressed intent, I think that's a home run. And so it's going to be interesting to see that you're rolling out. So you're in beta right now. When is this going to roll out? I know you mentioned it, but is it like
next month.
Okay, and next month is going to be, like, open for everyone?
Yes, we will be starting to showcase it to everybody that we speak to here shortly. So, for us, it's really about, the way we measure success is, are we engaging customers? Are we providing a more satisfying experience? And then in the end, are we making both the customer experience, but also the dealership experience more efficient? And we think, like I said, we've been ticking off the boxes of all the different roles in the dealership and trying to just create this delightful digital experience. So.
Amazing. Michelle, thank you for spending time with us. Thanks for being a supporter. Thank you for just working hard on your end. Your webinar is amazing. I will say, the Roadster webinar, this is unsolicited. One of the best webinars in the business. They do it really, really well. So if you haven't participated in one, you should, because they're great. Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Thanks, Paul. Take care.
Bye-bye.